measuring stick just changed around here, buddy. You're looking at it.
You are now listening to the Outsiders Podcast, the most exciting and hard-hitting show on the net. And now, bringing it hard as always, here are your hosts, Clint Schweitzer and Noah Groniger.
Well, it's Monday night and we're ready to strike. Our special forces are in full flight. We're coming by air and on the ground. Monday night football's taking over the town. We gotta get ready. We gotta get right. It's gonna be a battle in the NFL tonight.
Monday Night Football, your Kansas City Chiefs are playing, and no one's excited. Not one human in all of Kansas City is in any way excited about this game. No, are you?
Yeah, I got my terrible towel waving, ready to hunt field. Let's go.
Well, it is Veterans Day, and happy Veterans Day to all those who have served in our military, and we appreciate your service. And it's going to be, this is a game that I think when we looked at before the season, before we were the worst team in the NFL, we looked at and said, wow, probably not going to win that game at Pittsburgh. And now it just becomes, will Todd Haley really be able to exact the amount of revenge that he really wants to on the Kansas City Chiefs? Because he wants to put it on our Chiefs tonight.
I'm sure he will. I hope he does. I mean, I want that number one draft pick, and I'm a big fan of Todd Haley, so I'd like to see him laughing it up on the sidelines, cackling.
Well, we're going to be previewing this game with Tracy Greene a little bit later on. Of course, Tracy joined us about a month ago, did a great interview with him. He, of course, played for a year for Kansas City and then went to Pittsburgh. So he's been in both programs, and I think
got a Super Bowl with them.
He might be
Super Bowl appearance.
He might be leaning Pittsburgh's way tonight. How about?
I'm sure I am. You are, and the rest of the nation is.
Well, absolutely. I will definitely make that play. I'll take the Steelers minus the 12. I mean, a good game for Kansas City would be losing a game by 2 touchdowns, and that's the spread's already covered.
I don't see that happening. It's going to be a bad game tonight. Fumbles. I heard you said anyone who turns the ball over, they're going to have a seat on the bench.
That's right. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Matt Castle.
Dwayne Bowe. If he fumbles.
Charles.
Bench.
See ya.
Wow.
Goodbye, Charles.
This could get very interesting and play right into the Steelers' hands if we're benching Bowe and Charles if they fumble.
We're going to bring on Tracy Greene in just a little bit, preview this game, and we're also going to have him on for some post-game. But tell you what, an insane weekend in sports. Noah, I just got back today from a huge weekend down on Rocky Top. Mizzou wins at Tennessee. I was there live at Neyland Stadium. I'll tell you one thing, man. Not a finer football setting that I've ever seen. I mean, Neyland Stadium nestles perfectly right in front of the Tennessee River in the boroughs of the Smoky Mountains. The fans were amazing. The people were amazing. The game was ungodly.
4 overtimes.
4 overtimes. I can't believe it happened. Mizzou fans traveled. There was probably about 10,000 of them down there. Had a wonderful weekend, and afterwards got to go watch the Alabama-Texas A&M game at the Downtown Grill there in Knoxville, which I highly recommend. Alabama, who we said was unbeatable, has lost a game. Johnny Football goes in and beats them in Tuscaloosa. How did it happen?
I have absolutely no clue how it happened. I thought that Alabama would come in there, manhandle Manziel, and just throw him to the ground. But he was out there making Tony Romo-type plays, just bouncing around, avoiding the sack, and finding wide open swope all over the field.
That gives us a new BCS number 1. The Kansas State Wildcats coming off a win over TCU, who claims the number 1 spot. Oregon is 2, followed by Notre Dame, and then you're going to have Georgia and Alabama behind that. Is this how it should be? You don't agree with this?
No, I think Oregon should probably be number 1, and they probably will at the end of the year because they've got some good teams coming up. If they beat them, some good ranked teams, then they should be number 1 in the polls. Kansas State will probably stay 2 if they stay undefeated, and Notre Dame will get shafted at number 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. And but we talked about Bill Snyder last week when we went around the SEC and went around the Big 12 as well. This guy's the greatest coach possibly of all time. He's got his team ranked BCS number 1. I for the life of me, I can't fathom it, but here they are, here they sit. Is this team going to win the BCS championship? Is this your national champion?
There's no way they beat Oregon. Absolutely no way. Wait, except they will beat Oregon because Snyder will come up with something. The idiot savant will come up with something.
In his laboratory.
Yes, and they will win. Amazing.
Yes. I agree. I give him props. I give him credit, but I still think you look at the SEC teams ranked in the top 10. How many are there? There's several. I mean, Florida, Georgia, Alabama all in the top 10. A&M skyrocketing up. I mean, there's just so much. South Carolina, the SEC is so good. but they're not going to probably have a team in there for the championship game, which,
I don't know. Watch out for Alabama. One-loss Alabama. They could the polls could shoot them to the top, and they could be in the championship game if somebody loses.
I think a lot of people are all of a sudden assuming that this is going to be how it shakes out now, but gosh, any of these teams could lose. Kansas State still has to play Texas and Baylor. You never know. And Oregon with USC, Stanford, and then Notre Dame has to play USC as well. So USC kind of holds the key to the BCS championship here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you could check into and see the BCS controversy swarming if Alabama makes it in as a one-loss team when there's still a couple undefeateds up there. So that could get us to our playoff system.
We'll see, and I'll tell you another thing. We had college basketball kicking off on Friday night with a plethora of games. Kentucky almost goes down to Maryland. A lot of games going on, nothing really of note. We're going to see how that plays out. We'll be doing more college basketball as it goes on. Just wanted to mention the fact that that has started, and college basketball has begun as well.
Huge game that happened was Gonzaga and Southern Utah. Gonzaga pulled it out by the hair of their chinny chin chin, 106-65. It was a close one out there.
Well, you just got to take those as you can get them. You're not going to get many miracles like that. Missouri opens 83-69. Kind of unimpressive winners over SIU Edwardsville on Saturday. Of course, I was in Knoxville and unable to check out the basketball team, and as I was able to follow on my phone. But that started. Then we got NBA. We got the Lakers firing Mike Brown 5 games into the season, and they want Phil Jackson back. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. What in the world are the Lakers going to do?
I heard it's Mike D'Antoni is going to be the next coach.
Can see that.
Yep, and with him and Steve Nash reuniting from their days with the Phoenix Suns.
I think that'd be good. That offense with Nash running it, I think, could be really, really good. Because
it'll be interesting though, because they're kind of an older, slower team, and with the Suns, it was up and down the floor, make it 150 to 149 game.
Age is only a number, Noah. Well, that's not true. I don't know. You're right. The Lakers are a little older. They're a good team. They're going to get back into. They'll be a playoff team. Obviously, this is going to get turned around. We'll just see. But guys, getting back, a very odd weekend in the NFL. We had the Ravens just slaughtering Oakland. We saw a tie game. I don't like to see those.
I thought
I'm like Donovan McNabb. I know that there are ties.
I thought Missouri-Tennessee was a tie, but then they kept. I was like, second overtime.
Yeah, college football lets you play till someone wins. It's insane.
Then on Sunday, I watched the 49ers and Rams, and there was one overtime. It ended, and I was like, all right, double overtime. I just saw this in the Missouri-Tennessee game.
Nope.
Oh, and it's a tie.
See ya. Good night, everyone.
I'm just so confused. I'm Donovan McNabb over here. I just have no idea. These rules are just upside down.
Was it Darryl Royal that used to say that a tie is like kissing your sister?
I believe so.
And I think
I don't have a sister, but it might be like that.
Don't know the feeling there, but I think that it's very odd, and it happens in the NFL once every few seasons, it seems like. But and we saw the Falcons go down, losing their first game to the Saints. Or the Saints, are they back?
I mean, that was really impressive. They didn't have Darren Sproles out there. I thought that was really going to hurt them in this game against the Falcons. But Pierre Thomas, Mark Ingram, they kind of picked up the slack. I'd like to see them go more towards Mark Ingram, their number 1 pick from a few years ago, and kind of get away from Pierre. As far as their passing game, I mean, Jimmy Graham was everywhere. That kid is he might rival Tony Gonzalez for the best tight end in history.
Could see
especially with the more of the going towards the passing game. So.
Well, in last night, the headliner, and I think this is the best, the game of the week to me. A lot of people might have been bored by it. Bears and Texans, these are 2 of the best teams in the NFL. Texans.
It got ruined because Cutler got the concussion and then Campbell was in there, so it really ruined the whole game. I mean, the Bears might have been able to win that game if Cutler was in there, but Campbell just looked lost, dumping it down on 3rd and longs for -1.
Too bad. I mean, it was I still think a riveting game in that the Bears defense was able to keep this game close and keep them in it. It was great stuff from them. This might be as good a defense as the 85 Bears. Honestly, this is one of the best defenses I've seen since 2000
not
Ravens.
Not the 85 Bears, but it's not the 2000 Ravens, but it's
what is it?
It's a top defense in this year.
The 97 Chiefs,
but it's not one of the top defenses of all time.
I think statistically right now it stacks up. We'll see how it goes. I don't know that. I think Chicago now. I think Green Bay is still going to win this division. That's my thoughts.
I agree,
and we'll see where that goes. But guys, we're going to start talking some Chiefs Monday night game here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to bring on Tracy Greene, our buddy, just to do just that. Continuing to preview Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers here on Monday Night Football. We have very special guest, Tracy Greene, ex-Chief, ex-Steeler. Why not? Why not bring him on? He's been in both, played for both teams. Now, Tracy, the last time we talked to you, the Chiefs were just a really bad team. Now, they are the worst team in the NFL. What has happened to the Kansas City Chiefs?
Oh, man, you really want me to answer that? I mean, it's right there in front of your eyes. If you look at that offensive line, if you look at the play of the receivers, the defense is trying to do, but, I mean, when you're on the field constantly, something's got to give. And the defense is giving because they're tired.
I think so, and you also have to look at quarterback play. I mean, we talked last time about Matt Castle, and since then Brady Quinn came in to start a couple games, but it's just still an absolute disaster for this team on offense with Matt Castle.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were a quarterback and you saw Kansas City Chiefs offensive line as opposed to quite a few teams in the NFL, would you want to come here?
Nope, sure wouldn't.
Okay, now, why is that?
I mean, and I think this has been proven. We saw Peyton Manning take a look at this offensive line, did not want to come here in the offseason. So I think your point speaks true there. I agree with you there.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of people here trying to put it on Matt Castle and the poor play, but you think about quite a few of the interceptions Matt Castle got bouncing off receivers, maybe a receiver ran the wrong route, not dedicated, not determined, not actually focused on the game itself. Then when you're running around for your damn life, I hope I can say that on the radio.
Absolutely.
When you're running around for your life, man, you're not going to make great decisions. It's just not, it hasn't been proven. And then Matt Castle, although he is a veteran, he's not a seasoned veteran. He's not seasoned. He hasn't been able to be poised as a quarterback. And if you've noticed, when he has had protection, he's throwing the ball quite well. The only problem is now he's on page. What about his receivers? It's just like two things that are not gelling together. They don't have the chemistry. They just don't have it. They're lacking too much focus. Kansas City is not a bad team. I could say the organization is bad because nobody's taking a step to and fix the thing. They're not even close. I haven't seen anything. You're not going to tell me you're $30 million under the cap, but you can't get anyone in. You kind of gave up on this season when you still had a chance to make the playoffs. And if any fan, I'm a fan. I can't lie about that. I played, but I'm still a fan. I can see that.
Well, Tracy, it's a big Monday night game here at Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers are certainly used to a moment like this. They're coming off a big win over the Giants last week. You had yourself in a very memorable Monday night moment. Who makes that kind of play tonight for the Steelers? Is Heath Miller look like a guy that Roethlisberger might find in a similar situation that you did from Joe Montana all those years ago?
Okay, he could be. He could be. It could be any number of those receivers that Pittsburgh has. But here's what's going to transpire. You have a weak offensive line in Kansas City. You got a defensive line that's getting back healthy. You have a total defense in Pittsburgh that's pretty much getting back healthy. Matt Castle's not going to have time to throw the ball. The running backs, the offensive line is not going to open holes for the running backs. If Kansas City has any chance to do anything against the Steelers, it is going to be with special teams. And as for Pittsburgh, with the running backs that they got back, guys are getting healthy. It's just going to be a ground and pound. You're going to see old Pittsburgh play like Ben Roethlisberger may have 170, the normal 170, 180 yards, maybe a touchdown, maybe even 2 picks. But the Steelers are going to win because they're going to just run down that defense of Kansas City. And if that offense of Kansas City goes out on the field and do 3 and out at least 4 times, game is over. Unless Dwayne Bowe gets his head in the game. Unless, I'm trying to think of the kid, number 89.
Baldwin.
Is it Caldwell?
Baldwin.
Excuse me?
John Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Yeah.
If they get their head in the game, if the offensive line tries to block, Kansas City's got a chance to at least make a statement tonight. The only problem with that, Pittsburgh is known, renowned, world-known for that blitz package. No matter who's the head coach, no matter who's the defense coordinator, it's one thing, 2 things in Pittsburgh. We're going to run the damn football, and we're going to blitz you. Now, how Kansas City can, I hope they inserted a package to handle that. I don't see it, but I certainly hope they do.
I highly doubt it. We've been out-coached all season long, and that's going to continue until we get new, better coaches in here. How do you see the matchup with the Chiefs releasing Stanford route of Javier Arenas versus Emmanuel Sanders, who's getting the start tonight with Antonio Brown out?
Okay, excuse me. Whoa. Back up. What did you just say? The Chiefs did what?
Coaching. More coaching. Lots better coaching.
Oh, I thought you said they released Javier Arenas.
We released Stanford route, and Javier Arenas will be lining up against Emmanuel Sanders.
We'll see in the first quarter, because I can't call that one. Arenas is a But like I said, Arenas is naturally an athlete. He's gifted. Now, the thing is, if he doesn't know the packages, then he's going to have problems. It's like the kid yesterday for the Cowboys, if you watched the game, number 24.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was a bad athlete. He just wasn't ready and he wasn't prepared.
Well,
and that goes a long way in the game of inches.
A few weeks ago, I was under the impression that Pittsburgh was an okay team, maybe a little bit down this year. And now, a couple weeks later, with the injuries to a lot of Baltimore key defensive starters, is this just another Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh, straight ahead, smash mouth, AFC North championship team? Is that what's coming for this team, do you think?
I believe so. As long as they continue to get people healthy and get people back, yes. Yes. I mean, once Redmond comes back, it's gonna be game on for the Steelers, because all they're gonna do is, like you said, ground and pound. Like I said, ground and pound, run the ball. Okay, you stop the run. Can you stop the pass? Okay, can you stop the run and pass? By the way, can you stop our blitz package? And we do have good return specialists. I'm not saying that Pittsburgh is complete, but they're there. They will definitely be in contention for a playoff spot. Maybe not a first round bye, maybe not a division champion, but they will definitely be in the playoffs.
Are we going to see Todd Haley laughing it up on the sideline as the Steelers just score and score and score on the Chiefs tonight?
No, I'm not going to laugh.
Hey, he wants to go there.
I'm not going to laugh at all.
Hey, Roethlisberger's already gone on to say that Haley has told the offense they will keep scoring all night if they can.
Now, see, that right there, I don't believe in that. Trash talk is one thing, but when you're talking with that kind of confidence, most of the time, that's going to be a bad, bad deal for you.
Well, Todd
Ask
Haley.
James Johnson. Ask Mike Irvin. Ask those guys. You know, when you put your foot in your mouth, you're going to be able to pull it right back out.
Well, Todd Haley's got a big revenge factor tonight after being fired last year from Kansas City, so he's going to definitely run up the score, I think.
No, Todd Haley should be mad, but Arizona even entertained being a head coach. To come to Kansas City and be a head coach, it just doesn't work. We talked about that a while back. How many great coordinators end up and eventually become great head coaches? It just doesn't happen that often. Not that often. And say it doesn't happen, but not that often. Todd Haley is going to do exactly what he's supposed to do, his job tonight.
All right, Tracy, before we let you go, give us a score prediction and who wins this game, and give us the score.
I would say the Steelers are going to pull it out 33 to maybe 21.
Wow, closer game. Yeah, the spread's right at 12, so that would be right there. So that would be very interesting. I'll tell you what, don't eat too much tonight during the game. Don't drink too much, because we're going to give you a call and do some post-game with you after this game. So try to stay awake. I know it's going to be a little later here in Kansas City when this ends, but try to make it to the end, Tracy. Come on.
I will. Don't worry. I'll be up waiting.
Hey, you're the man. We'll give you a call. We'll talk to you. Do some post-game, and good luck tonight. Enjoy the game.
All right, you too, guys.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right, that was Tracy Greene. Thanks a lot for joining us, doing some pregame with us today. Tracy, kind enough to grace with his presence, and I'll tell you what, Tracy brings it hard every time, man.
Yeah, I
Love
hope
it.
the fans remember him. He's a great tight end in Chiefs lore, making that huge catch to allow Montana to beat the Broncos with 13 seconds left in 1994 on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I forgot we had brought that up, of course, when we interviewed Tracy before, and if you guys don't remember, 87 tight end from Grambling for the Chiefs, and then, of course, on to Pittsburgh. So, you know, we really appreciate that, and I think he's got it. I think he's given the Chiefs a little too much credit, though, as far as his score prediction, 33-21.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's watching them week in and week out. He kind of sees the scores, might watch a little bit of the game. I don't know if he really realizes just how horrible this team is.
Yeah, this is the worst team in the NFL. Jacksonville may try to fight us to that, but they have led in games, and
I just think we're the worst coach team. I mean, Jacksonville's had Blaine Gabbert getting knocked out the past 2 weeks. Chad Henne comes in, so they've got quarterback swaps. We've had our own a little bit. They've got Maurice Jones-Drew with the holdout being injured, and they're still in games playing hard.
Well,
and we just can't do anything.
Let's talk about that, because if the Chiefs lose this game, they go to 1-8, and it is downhill from here. And I can promise you, this will be a top 3 team picking the top 3. Let's go to quarterback watch, as we do every week. We talk about kind of which quarterback maybe we'd look at, Barkley or Smith, and I
hear people saying they want Manti Te'o. I've heard this a lot on Twitter. They want Manti Te'o with the first pick and Tyler Wilson maybe if we have to move up in the middle to late first round, they want Tyler Wilson. They think he's, even though the Arkansas has had a bad season and they haven't done well, they like his arm strength and his potential in the NFL.
I see it. I see what you're saying there, and I think that it makes sense. But for this Chiefs team, it's that kind of finagling around is done. It's taking best quarterback. It's what you're doing.
I agree.
They can't do that.
I disagreed with them on Twitter, saying I'm fine with taking Wilson in the middle to late first round
because that's not
as
the
long
best
as we
quarterback.
take Barkley,
right,
number 1.
Yeah.
And then you can move back in and take Wilson or whatever, and then you can take Murray,
You know what?
and then you can take whoever else.
Tyler Bray and
Tyler
A.J.
Bray.
McCarron and Aaron
Yes.
Murray.
Take them all. Find out who's the best one.
People are
go with
laughing.
it.
You might laugh at that, but I'll tell you what. Noah kind of came to me with this almost jokingly a few months ago and said if he were a GM, he would just take 7 quarterbacks in a draft. And I thought, and it's kind of funny. And of course, it would never happen. But the point of that is you've got to find somebody.
Don't do it every year. Just do it until you find your guy, your franchise quarterback, and then you can go get everything else.
To me, Manti Te'o, okay, we've had Manti Te'o. His name was Derek Johnson. He was this amazing linebacker that couldn't miss out of Texas. We brought him in. He's fine. He's an okay starter. But did our team really get any better because of Derek Johnson?
No.
So do you agree with me that people need to get that out of their minds about maybe a quarterback later? We'll worry about a quarterback. Got to get Te'o. We'll get a quarterback later.
That's exactly what has plagued this team since Todd Blackledge.
Yes. So it's Barkley, it's Smith, whatever one they think is going to be. I don't care. Whichever one right now, I think I'm leaning towards Barkley personally. I don't know.
I'm leaning towards Barkley as well. It just scares me that his name is Matt. He goes to USC as number 7. I mean, it's
a lot
really
going
scary
against him there, but I think he's a
as far as talent-wise, I really like him.
But he is the exact opposite of Castle that he started 4 years in college. You got to like that. And never
I do
injured.
like that. And
never
I like
injured.
his arm. I like his accuracy, pinpoint accuracy, hitting guys in stride, being able to throw it downfield. Maybe not the strongest arm, but definitely stronger than Matt's. Castle.
I agree with that, and we're going to see where the Chiefs decide to go with that. But right now, we're going to go enjoy some Monday Night Football tonight.
Let's go, Todd Haley!
Todd Haley, Kansas City Chiefs.
Put it
Monday
on.
Night Football's coming on tonight.
The Steeler Nation has the best fans. We are from Pittsburgh, the 5-time Super Bowl champ. Here we go.